Okay, so what is a database? A database is basically a bunch of data stored on a computer or a cloud. And well, of course, right now we have so much data out there that it's kind of hard to maintain and access and use it. So that's why we got databases, and they're structured in a way that you can access the data easily. Now we got something called a relational database, and it is exactly what it sounds like. For example, let's have our recipe example that we've been building. So each recipe has some things, for example, its name, ingredients, and instruction that is related to each other and finally to each recipe. So it's a relational data because they relate to each other. Now, relational databases are, I think, the most popular. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the like the head in all of this. And because of that, we have some management systems, and we call them RDBMS. And we use SQL or SQL, which is a language, not hard at all, don't worry. And we basically get to manipulate the data, update it, create the table, and just manage a database easier with this management systems. Now we're going to discuss the popular ones. The first one is MySQL. You probably heard of it in WordPress, everything basically. We use MySQL, and it goes very well with PHP. That's why WordPress uses it. And yeah, it is a very good thing to have, but I honestly, it's kind of going down. I know it's like right now the most popular, but it is going to go downhill because PHP is kind of being irrelevant. Then we have a PostgreSQL. It's a little bit less popular, but the good thing is, first of all, in technology, as far as I think everyone knows, we kind of don't like big corporations. So this one is independent. So that's an advantage. Secondly, it has more security than MySQL, so your data is safer, but that makes it kind of perform slower. So that's why people usually just go with MySQL instead of Postgres, but yeah. Yeah, Postgres, same here. I prefer Postgres as well, especially for web apps. And Oracle DB is usually in banks, and it's not open source. You have to pay for it. And yeah, it's made for very large databases, and banks have like a lot of data, so usually they use it. This one, which is the one I told you to install, is SQLite, and it's popular, open source, it's free. It has some drawbacks to it, but for beginners, it's usually advised to start with SQLite. You can provide all the data that you have and just store it in just one file. There are some, again, there are some things that are not good. For example, two users can't work on the same database at the same time. Sometimes it's very essential, but right now we don't really care. And secondly, data types are a big thing in databases in general. And SQLite doesn't have a lot of data types. So for example, we only have, I think, 5, but others have like time and very specific like password and email and things like that, but SQLite doesn't have that. Okay, now what the hell is SQL? It's structured query language, and it's basically designed to manage data stored in a relational database. So all of the stuff that we just talked about work on SQL, but the way that they manage data, they help manage data is different, but all of them work on SQL. Okay, let's all open our DB. Are we going to learn about table and schema?
Where's the DB?
DB is here.
Where?
What do you mean?
You needed to install it.
How?
Oh my god.
Like I did it. I did it.
You see this?
Oh, I thought it was not necessary.
Well, it was if you read like you did.
Okay.
Anyways, okay, I was answering a question here. Yeah, so today we're just going to talk about table, but with schema, we're just going to talk about it in alchemy, which is in Flask itself. So yeah, today just table. So whenever you're ready to start, let me know.
Which should I choose? Standard Histler or zip? What's the difference?
Standard, probably.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was waiting. Okay, tell me when you're done opening stuff.
Do we need to create a new database?
Yeah, we're just gonna create a new database altogether.
Oh,
So right now, yeah, we're gonna start for that one.
now we only need to open.
Yeah, I just want everyone to be ready. Yeah, just open it right now. Cool. So the first thing we're gonna do is to create a table. We all know what a table is, and it's pretty easy to do it. So I just say, by the way, go to execute. If I can freaking open it. Oh, sorry. First, go to new database and name it something. For example, I'm just gonna name it celebrities. You can do whatever you want. And okay, I'm gonna name my table celeb, and so you can say what columns you want it to have. For example, we're gonna have ID, if I can freaking type. Just gonna add ID here. What? What's happening? Just gonna reopen it now. Oh, okay, now I'm good. So create table celeb open. So I got ID and I'm saying, okay, it should be an integer. And by the way, you don't have to have it capitalized, but we just do it because it makes sense. But it will run either way. And we have name. And as you can see here as well, it should be text. I really can't see. And the last one is age, and it's going to be an integer. And then you close it. Everyone try it.
I have a question. Is it normal to that my DB browser is white?
It doesn't matter. I
Oh,
can make
okay.
it, yeah, because my Mac is always dark mode, so that's why.
Hmm. Can you tell me what should I open?
Just create a new, we're creating a new database.
Oh, so I should type in create a new database. Save. Oh, what should I call the table?
Whatever you want. Oh, you
Okay.
can see the screen, I'm sorry.
Oh, I can share my screen. Yeah.
No, not you. I'm saying I can't see this. People couldn't see my screen. So
Oh. Oh, celeb.
you can do whatever you want. We're just trying things out. Like, just do
Oh.
whatever.
I called the DDD and now it's like I want to share my screen. I'm just
Okay.
confused.
Okay, go on.
Okay, here it is.
Okay. So you're naming your, okay, to create something meaningful. Tell your table whatever it is. Like, what data do you want to store? For example, I'm going to add celebrities. What do you want to do? You can name your TV series, anime, whatever, games.
Uh,
Okay, now say okay. If you can't, click on add.
and advanced add.
Add.
Where's the add?
You're literally clicking on it. Come down. Add.
Oh,
And for example, say name.
where?
Right there. Like field 1, you can rename it.
Oh,
Just say okay right now.
okay.
Okay.
That's all.
And go to execute SQL.
SQL, where it is.
It's below. Yeah, go up. Go up. The fourth one. Come right. Yeah. Damn it. That's a serious question. Serious question.
Yeah.
Have you do you have this problem in your school as well? You kind of did you lose your attention easily?
Not in my school, but yes.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you for help.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. Did anyone do it? Are we good?
Yes.
Cool. So now let's add some data. How do we do it? So we say, okay, now I want to insert some data. Insert into the table name, and we have ID, name, and age here. And then of course we don't stand Justin Bieber here, but this is just an example. And then you can say values and then enter each one respectively. So 1 to ID, Justin Bieber to name, and 22 to age. Let's go do that too. Am I sharing my screen?
No, not now.
Oh, okay. I'll share it. Just a second. Okay, I hope everyone is done. So the first celebrity that I added is corpse, and I think it's 23, I'm not sure. And if I say browse data, then I can see this. His ID is 1, his name is corpse, and his age is 23. Could anyone do, like, add something to their table?
We're supposed to do in execute SQL.
Yeah. So you can say insert into celeb. For me, my table name is celeb. And I'm saying, okay, take ID, name, and age, and I insert values, and then I run my SQL. So let me do it again. Let me do it like in general. So insert into celeb, and I have ID, name, and age. The values I want to add are, and you can see it here as well, like if you forget sometimes. And who's the next one I want to add? So their ID is 2. Who do I like? PewDiePie, and I think it's 30, I'm not sure. And then I run it, and I get something. There's no column PewDiePie. Oh, shit. So I have to put it in strings because it's a text. Okay, now I did it. Browse data. PewDiePie is here. He's 30, and his ID is 2. 2 here. So try adding like 4 celebrities in total, so we can, have some data inside of our SQL. So if you have any questions or getting any errors, you can tell me, we can solve it together. Guys,
Is,
any
I have a
feedback?
question. Is there a difference between double quotation and single quotation marks?
There's no difference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Will you like send the like the already like after the lesson? Will you send the completed solutions of the tasks?
Tasks of now, or you mean?
Yeah, no.
These ones, yeah, like we're doing it right now. But if you mean like tourist task and stuff,
No, not those like this one.
okay, yeah, of course. I mean, this is what I'm doing. Can I add something again? For sure. So again, I'm in execute SQL, and I'm saying, and my table name is celeb, and it has ID, name, and age. And when I say values, I mean, dude, like I want to add something, you know, because I said insert here. I'm giving the idea 5. Please tell me a name of some celebrity because I don't remember anyone.
Angelina Jolie.
Mm. Mm.
Everyone's blacking out on it. So who are my favorite singers? I have no idea.
Negara Heat.
Yeah, because I'm a celebrity. I wish I was so rich. I would be so rich. Um, Danny DeVito. That's it.
What's the damn name? Who is he?
He's a meme, basically.
Who?
So I think it's 50. I don't know how old it is. I'm just gonna say 50.
Danny DeVito. Who's the Danny DeVito?
I did something here. Near 50. Oh, I didn't. Okay. So, and then I run the SQL whenever I'm done. And when I go to browse data, I can see all the data that I've inserted here. Nika, is that clear? Okay, great. Can you please show there is your, no, not you, the other Nika, I mean. Can you please show where is your table? My table is in browse data. So I created a new database. It doesn't insert it. What do you get? Like here in the execute SQL, you get something like this. So execution finished without errors. When you get this, it means it's added. So do you want to share screen or something so we can figure
Mine
it out?
finished with error. Sorry.
Without error or with error?
With error.
Okay,
Share
share screen. Let's see what happened. Damn it. Insert.
Here it is.
Did you, I mean, you didn't create the columns, ID, name, and age.
Like I had to create those.
Yeah, of course, like we did before. Okay, okay, let me show you how to do it. What is it? Okay, I'll stop sharing your screen. So when you want to create a table here, you say create table celebs, and then you say which columns you want it to have. And you didn't do that, right? So just do it exactly like the slides. So say create table, go to your execute SQL, create table celebs, ID, name, age, and with their data types. Well, and I want to show you the data types here actually. Good thing I remembered. So we have these. So null is that we have no idea what it is. It's either missed or unknown. Integer is an integer. Real is basically like a float. Text is string. And blob is basically a blob of data. Sometimes we don't know what it is, right? So you just store it exactly as it was input.
You're not sharing a screen.
Okay, again, so we have null, integer, real, and text, and blob. Null is when something is like, it's nothing. It's either missed or we don't know what it is. Integer is an integer, real is float, task is string, blob is basically just a blob of data and it will stored exactly as it was put. Oh, cool, Nika. I'm glad. Okay, now let's do more stuff. So sometimes we just want to see a certain column of our database because the rest is irrelevant. So let's select name from celeb. So I get all the names: Corpse, PewDiePie, Dan Howell, Dominion David, and Danny DeVito. I love how They don't like relate on each like anything. Okay, so you can do that. I can do it with ID, for example. I just get the IDs, like 1, 2, 3, 4, or I can get the age. And it only shows age. You can try it with your own stuff as well.
Excuse me, can I share my screen for 1 minute?
Yes, go ahead.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
So basically, I cannot like edit this.
Okay. Okay. Select new database. No,
Save
sorry. I
here.
meant okay. No. Just cancel it for a second. I meant new database, not open database. Why does it say? Okay, just save it. Name the file like celebrity is whatever you want. Okay, now here, name your table, celeb, for example, again. And you can add your first table when you press add. Add. Like go up, go left. Yeah, add. Go down a little bit. Not advance. Go. Wait. Below advance, you see add. Below advance, like in field, it says add. Add.
Oh, there.
Yeah, okay, and then name it like ID, age, and name.
Like this?
No, just ID. This is your first column. And then you can add, press adding. Yes, exactly. And you can, yeah. Age, and the last one should be text.
Text or name?
Name, I mean, yeah, name, but the type should be text.
Text.
No, that's real.
There.
Yep, as you can say, okay now.
The name.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I use random for fun and numbers are not. Why would you do that to yourself? Okay. Oh yeah, and of course, sometimes we want to alter our database. So you say, I want to alter my table and I want to add a column and I want that column to be text. And I'm not going to do Twitter handle. I'm just going to do something else. Alter table, celeb. And I can say add table. What do I call it? My rating. And it's going to be a text. It's going to be into real. Okay. What did I miss? Add column, you idiot. Okay. Okay, cool. Browse data. Now I have my rating. And because I haven't inserted anything, it assumes that I don't know what it is either, or it's missing. No, basically. You can add another column to your database as well.
Can I see?
Sorry?
Can I see the? Can I see the execute SQL again?
Yes, here you go.
Should be my rating in quotation marks.
Can your what be in quotation marks?
My rating should be on quotation marks or not?
No. Because it's a variable technically, and it's not a string. So yeah, whenever we want to like add string, like in Python, we use quotations, but not in variables.
Thanks.
Okay.
Okay, anyone have any questions, getting errors?
I have one question. How can I change to dark mode?
Honestly don't know. Probably in preferences, but I think you have Windows, so I have no idea. It should be in settings. What does that code do? It creates a column, a new column called my rating, and I've said the data type is real, meaning it can be float, so it can have decimal points to it. Okay, now I want to update one of these rows. Let's say in browse data, I want to rate Dan Howell 10, or I don't know, 9.5, right? And you have to update this null, and his ID is 3. So execute SQL, update. I'd say update and not, update? Yeah, and the reason I'm saying update and not alter is because I'm updating and I'm not creating something new. I'm just adding to it. So update the lab. Wait, where is it? And I'm saying set my rating to 9.5, where ID is equal to 4 or 3. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Dan Howell now has my rating of 9.5, and it accepts it because it's real, aka float.
Can you show us execute SQL?
Yes.
Okay.
And basically, I mean, it's just syntax, you know, so you just have to, you get to remember it. I will send the file of it, sure. Why not? At the end of the class. Yeah, Nika. What is filter? Yeah, so you can filter things out by like searching them. How do we change null? That's exactly what we're doing, Nika. We are changing, because when we created the new column, that we didn't give it any value, right? So it assumed it's either missing or we just don't know it. And when you want to alter it, you use this. You say, okay, I want to update my table. I want to set the value of that column into something where the ID is equal to 3. I'm just going to add random stuff as well.
Can you like send like what we're doing right now?
How
I
can
can't cook.
What do you mean, send what?
Like the
ID equal to 2.
like the squid line code. Like
Yeah,
this.
right now I'm changing it though. So how can I send it? I'm just giving random numbers, by the way. I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah, but the code changes, right? Because I can't, like I change it every time I'm executing something. So you just have to see the recording. So, wait, did I execute it? Oh, ID equals to 6, 5. Okay. So, when we're dealing with data, we don't want some unknown values inside of our database. So we use this, delete from celebs, which is your column table name, and where my data is null. Right now we don't have any null, so we don't use it, but it's important, really. Okay, and something very important, I don't know if you noticed it, we have it here. So where is it? When we were creating a new database, I'm not going to do it again. You saw some very weird acronyms like PK, UN, and default. Let's explore them. They're called constraints. And for example, when someone is signing up for a website, if they don't have a username or password, like why the hell would we store it, right? So when they're empty, we just throw an error that like, bro, like just stop messing with me. So that's where we use primary key. And yeah, and we have unique, that they should have a different value for every row. Not null, I just explained that, it shouldn't be empty. And default is basically, you just give it a default value when you just basically don't want it to be empty, and you just give it a default value. If you haven't already gone through the steps with me, create a database of your own. You can literally do whatever you want. At least have like 5 items inside of your table. Like I have, very small, but you know, you can see what's happening. I'll give you like 5 minutes. You can use the slides.
I have one question. So like we're learning.
You're muted, Nicholas.
Like so when we're learning SQ, how do like does like Flask and SQ hook up together?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I'm going to be talking about how and why we're learning SQL right now. We're not going to use the same thing that we're using right now, but the language that we're using is basically the same. We're just doing this to kind of get acquainted with SQL, because first of all, you will have to learn it later on. Anyways, what are you doing? Like whatever you're doing in data science, you will have to just do it, deal with it. And secondly, I'll talk about how they're related.
I have a question.
Yep.
How can we add a new property to the table?
New property to the table. You mean
Like ID, name, and rate. How can we add new one?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we use, am I sharing? Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. So this one, so insert into celeb, ID, name, and age, and the value that you want.
Yeah, I know value, but I mean into celebs, ID, name, age, and something. I want to append something new.
You mean like, for example, these ones, right?
I know it's value, right?
It's what?
It's value, right?
Yeah, these are values. Yeah.
I don't want to add a new value. I want to add a new property to the table, like my rating.
So for example, oh, yeah. So you basically have to alter the table like this.
Or add column. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Alter table. Whenever you want to do something that didn't exist beforehand, you use alter. And then add columns. Thank you, Giri. Yes, exactly.
Like in C++, zero semicolon means end of line.
In C++, what?
In SQLite, I see that after text there is semicolon. Do we need to add? Is it necessary? Like,
No, it's not necessary. It's absolutely not necessary. But in SQL in general, these things like alter, table, add column are called clauses, and we usually capitalize them to distinguish between the clauses and the text. But no, it's not necessary, but it's advised to do it. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is querying. And one of the core purposes of having SQL in the first place is to retrieve information, meaning to access the information inside of the database. And that's what we call querying. We used where like just 2-3 exercises ago, and it's just used to filter records. And I think someone asked what filter is. The browser makes it easier for us to filter things, but you should kind of do the execute SQL thing. And where is basically how you filter, you know, wherever the pop year equals 2017, you're filtering that row. And yeah, we have a very cool thing called like operator, and you can use it inside of where, and it matches a specified pattern. For example, it will return every single movie that starts with star in the title. If you say where name like star, so instead of just selecting one row, you can access multiple ones like Star Wars, Star Trek, things like that. We have this wildcard, and whatever that starts from there and is followed by 0 or more characters is going to be selected. So it's kind of vague. And we have a dash wildcard, which like whatever that starts with and finishes with OVE will be selected. And it begins with just a single character. So love, for example, would be selected. And we have and operator exactly like Python. We want the color to be blue and the year to be after 2014. And you will be filtering the car models that are blue and after 2014. And remember how we can import a module in Python and name it as something else? You can do that in SQL. So for example, if name in your database is not really accurate, you can give it a nickname. You can call that a movie title. And you can call that column from now on as movie title instead of name. Or operator, exactly like Python. We want the states California or New York. So we use or. Oh, this one is very, very useful, which is order by. So we have some contacts and we want to select the birth dates like descending, meaning it goes down, like it from the oldest person to down. And you can use it by ascending as well. And the default is actually ascending. And one of the best tutorials out there, which is completely okay. Oh yeah, the asterisk. Thank you. I forgot to mention it. Yeah, when you use the asterisk, you mean everything. You mean every single thing inside of contacts, for example. Thank you for asking. This one is I was talking about the tutorial. It's free. It's really easy to understand. You can check it out. It's cool. Now let's review some stuff together. Not the querying ones, because I know it takes time to get used to it. And to be honest, I don't want to waste your time to like force you to use it right now, because I don't know. I feel like it's just text, right? When we use it later on in our class, you will kind of figure it out and remember it. Okay, now let's review stuff. Answer me in the comments. Is it comments? I mean chat. You know what I mean. Okay, this is the first one. Georgi, yeah, W3 school is always great, but honestly, this website that I sent is solely for SQLite, so that's why I suggested it. Yeah, it's 4. Cool, guys. What about this one? Yeah, when we want to add a column, just like we did, we're altering our table. Cool. And what are common data types in SQL, which we just discussed? And what was real?
Float number.
Cool. Wait, I did it again. Okay. What is a relational database? It is 4, but what is 2? What do you think is 2? Yes, Milana. It is a table. Collection of data organized into rows and columns. Amazing. What about this one? David got it right. Yep, table name. Amazing, guys. Okay. Okay, now we kind of know what SQL is. So why did I learn it? Now what? So web application, as we discussed, get a lot of data back and forth. And of course, we have to store it somewhere and manage it somewhere, right? For example, let's see Spotify, for example. So Spotify has a huge database, and it's a relational one, actually. And how it works is that I have an account. I like some songs into my playlist. So that is going to be associated with me. And each of the songs are going to be associated with the liked songs and so on, right? So yeah, that's why, and we can actually follow each other on Spotify as well. So that's relational as well. So that's why we're trying to do this. But the thing is, which is actually a good thing, Flask has its own SQL database system, which is called SQL Alchemy. And it's basically just SQL, but it's just for Flask, and it works great. It's great. Let's all install it right now. It's literally one line of code. Open your PyCharm.
PP install, right?
Yeah, what's up?
Nothing more.
Oh, okay. So basically, so we can put follow or like. You don't like Spotify? Why? I love Spotify.
Premium.
Okay, so you can open one random project of yours, and whenever you invent, let's say pip install Flask SQL Alchemy.
In the terminal.
Yeah, in the terminal. In your PyCharm. I've already installed
I
it.
can like put it in the chat.
Yeah. Here you go. Okay, we can type that line in Python ideal too, yes. In your virtual environment, you can do that. We are doing this in PyCharm right now, so, but you have to be in the terminal.
I installed it.
Sorry, you installed it? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, guys, we are done with introduction to SQL. You can go through it.
How should I write it? With the Y or I? SQL alchemy.
Is SQL. L.
Yeah, SQL alchemy.
It's in the chat, by the way.
Yeah, it's in the chat. So yeah, next session we're going to like take a deep dive and explore SQL in Flask and how we can store things and how alchemy works. And after that, so next session is like just about SQL. The next one is going to be about authorization of our users. So we're going to just create the whole structure of how it works. And the next one would be how to, see our website, not just locally and with an actual like URL. And yeah. Is it going to be hard? No, of course not. Okay, guys, if you don't have any questions, we're done. And I will, how do we get into the Venn? Oh, it should be already, I can't talk. It should be already inside of Venn.
I find a SQL like